Okay, I'm back again. And I just wanted to do a part two because I feel like it's better to do education versus arguing with foolish people and foolishness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some statistics. And all of this is in the bill as well. So it protects the children and it protects families. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. But one of the things that happens is if you make false allegations, they could be held in criminal court, okay? So they could be held in criminal court, and you could be in really big trouble for that because false allegations in every state is a crime, okay? And if you are really abusing children, that would be held in criminal court, no longer in family court. That's another aspect of the bill. So that's going to stop a lot of problems, okay? So if you want to just poo-poo off this parental alienation syndrome, and you still want to believe the way you believe, this bill still protects everyone, okay? Now let me go over some statistics. The National Child Traumatic Stress Network and CSAM statistics, the high percentage of that type of abuse, what we were talking about earlier, molestation type of abuse to children, are by fathers and father figures, so biological fathers and stepfathers, okay, or foster fathers. And that, what they're showing there is 42%. That's a lot. So 42%, mind you, you have to remember, especially family court, it's under-documented because people are not reporting or they're being told they have parental alienation syndrome, so it's being completely ignored, and there's no actual database for it because it's not going to criminal court. Why that's very, very important. And I know I said this in the last video, but I'm going to actually read you, and I think I'm going to try to post it, or I'll put it in comments, the published, what Dr. Richard Gardner literally put in his own publications, okay, and why we need to stay away from that. We need to stay away from it. And no decent, good father, and I've talked to them, and they come to our meetings, and they're coming to D.C., they want nothing to do with the PAS. They've said it. They want nothing to do with parental alienation syndrome, okay? They want to protect women and children. They're not that caliber at all. They would never sit here and fight with me all day and make 13 videos like this woman did today. She's literally on video 13 or 14 at this point. She just keeps making videos about me all day long. That's a problem if I ever did see one. But let me just read you some of the publications. Okay, these are direct quotes and statements by Dr. Richard Gardner. Now, remember, as I read you these quotes, because I have to go back and forth to the quotes, I'm saying it accurately.
He said that, quote, in the vast majority of cases, the mother is the alienator. But it's interesting because when the fathers get full custody, the mothers have no access to their children at all. And I see this all over the country. So who's alienating who? And like I said, if alienation was such a bad thing, right? Like if it was a thing, and I'm not saying that people aren't separated from their children, and if you want to say alienated from them, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But if that was such a bad thing, why are judges doing it then? Like, why? Are they an alienator? Or do they have parental alienation syndrome? Anyway, he also, it's not uncommon for mothers to make false allegations. So he's completely discrediting all mothers, that we all make false allegations. So with 42% of children being molested by men, so out of that percentage within family court, because we don't have an accurate amount, it's much higher. I can guarantee it because I see, I have eyes, I see. Then every time a mother's just considered a liar or a crying child, or what about like the cases that I have, and I have a lot of these across the country where little girls have ongoing stuff going on down in areas, and doctors have reported and so on and so forth, and the judge now stops the mom from taking to the doctor, places the child with the person that the child has said was her perpetrator, called the child a liar, called the mother a liar, and then the child continues to have the same problems. But now no one's allowed to take the child to the doctor anymore for that specific situation anymore. Like it gets twisted and crazier and crazier and crazier. So what he did was he normalized the whole thing in his publications. He attacked only women and mothers, period. Okay, and remember, only less than 6% of women that report abuse are lying. So like I said before, 94% are all liars, according to this theory, this debunked theory. And also, even the National Council of Family Court and Juvenile Judges admits that they're the ones that are trying to stop what's happening in family court. They're even against it. They even know that it's a debunked theory and that it's wrong and how dangerous it is. Okay, so why would anybody connect themselves with a group, and this is including good fathers and moms, why would they connect themselves with any advocacy groups out there that would disbelieve children and disbelieve victims of any kind of abuse right off the bat? Just disbelieve you. Like, that's not what advocates do. Okay, advocates know that family court's bread and butter is false allegations, okay? But advocates also know that you should believe victims, and it's important. And not to say that everybody's a victim, okay? But there's a lot, and in the world we live in right now, it's pretty crazy, okay? It's pretty crazy. We have a lot of problems. So you don't disbelieve victims, especially little children, okay? So that's my concern there, okay? And it's not pointing at all fathers, okay? It's just not doing that. But when you have everything set in the proper order, or we wouldn't be where we are. And what I say all the time to these fathers as they keep coming to me, and they're like, that organization never helped me. And these are the innocent ones that don't do those types of things. They're like, that organization never helped me. I saw them go out of their way for the abuser, okay? Because they're abusers too. That's why they relate. That's why judges put children in abusive homes. That's why judges sleep at night and don't think anything of and don't care about putting children in residential treatment centers where they're being abused, foster homes where they're being abused, adopting them out where they're being abused, or with an abusive parent. It's the same philosophy. And when we have the proper safeguards up by the law, then we're fine, okay? And just one little tiny little thing I just want to talk about. I am not doing the unauthorized practice of law. I am not an attorney. I've never said I was one. And as a forensic Americans with Disability Act advocate, and you can do your research and I can teach you all about this, and that's why I've done it for 18 years. And yes, I do talk in court. I talk in court. Wow, it's amazing. With what I can do, I have something that's actual immunity. It's actually a stronger immunity, and so does anybody that's a qualified individual with a disability have immunity that's stronger than judicial immunity, which we're going to get into one day, which is all cited in the bill. So that's not the unlawful practice of law. And these people that are trying to attack what I'm doing, they might as well work for the courts because they're just like them. Just like them. And you wonder why you're still in that position if you work with these types of groups. You're going to stay where you are, and you're not going to get anything solved and anything resolved and get your children protected. You're not going to. These fathers that are with these groups, you're not getting anywhere. That's why you're not getting anywhere. 40 years later, 30 years later, same boat. Same boat. So stay away from those groups. If you're a good protective father, stay out of those groups. That's the worst thing you could do. All right, guys, have a blessed night.